Well, I've been letting the cylinders on the Pinto soak for a couple of days and it still won't turn over. We've added brake fluid to the cylinders. Number 3 cylinder still it's got some rust in it, but I just made this shocking discovery up under the bottom here. I was gonna drain the oil because I was gonna take the oil pan off, and we got antifreeze coming out, which is not good. So that tells me it's either got a cracked block or cracked head or blow head gasket, but it's straight up antifreeze. Just look at that. I've been noticing it's been leaking from the front of the oil pan last couple of days, but that is just straight up coolant. And here comes the oil. Look at that. That is not good. So something's cracked internally. It's either got a, like I said, cracked block. Could have saved that antifreeze. It's either got a cracked block or blow head gasket, or the head's busted. It had antifreeze in it, so it didn't freeze up. So why is there an antifreeze in the crankcase? Unless the water pump seal is bad and it let the antifreeze leak over into the block. Is that possible? I don't know if this one's got it's got the water pump that runs behind the timing belt. That could be possible. Now we got some milky stuff coming out, some goop. I smell a hint of mystery oil. Ooh, it's chunky. So, starting to think, is it worth even still pulling the oil pan off and at least see what cylinder is locked up? Or is this motor trash? It's gonna get a little bit more in depth into getting this thing running. But got some mix come out. It had clean antifreeze in the radiator, I know, because I drained the radiator because I was going to pull it out so I can get to the crankshaft a little better. But I ended up taking the fan off. But that is real nasty there. That is. I know it still won't turn over because I don't have any plugs in it. So I don't know, fellas. I might still take the oil pan off just to see if that number 3 is locked up. I think I'm gonna have to raise the engine up though to get the oil pan out. Either that or I might be able to move the rack and pinion. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna let it just sit here and drain out, and we'll go from there. So we got the Pinto up in the air, and I was able to get the oil pan off, and I'm gonna show you what I found. If I can get up under here. Probably gonna have to let the jack down on the jack stands. So I got the oil pan off, and it's not looking too good. Cylinder 3, it's just got all kinds of rust up it. I'm thinking where it's set with the antifreeze in it. it was up to that point and it just rusted the cylinder pretty much all the way up there. I don't know if you can see the rust. The crank looks good because I took the rod cap off, but if you look up there, you can see rust. It's like, I don't know what kind of, looks like scale or something, but the rest of them look pretty decent. You can barely see the bottom of the cylinder on that one. It's just hard to get a light up there, but this one here, ain't too bad. So what I'm gonna attempt to do, I'm gonna loosen some of these main bearing caps or rod caps and just see if we can get some kind of movement. Don't hurt to try it. Let me get a small hammer. We'll tap that. Let's see if any of these pistons does move. That one moves. I can see it going up and down. Let's just pull the cap off. At least one of these is marked. Just make sure we put it back on like it's supposed to be. Man, that crank looks good too. It's got a little scarring on the bearing. Just a little bit. There might have been some light trash. It's not wore down to the brass, but the crank looks smooth. So let's just set that there. This piston here, it moves. Lightly tap up on it. So that piston there is pretty much free. Let's see what the crank turn. Probably won't. Nope. So we know that cylinder there, it's not totally locked up. It does have some movement. So I'm just going to put the rod cap back on, snug it. Snug it just a little bit. That way if we get some other ones loose, we might get some crank movement. So I got that one totally off. That's the one, number 3, that's totally locked up. So I guess we'll try and move back here to the back. That's gonna be kind of hard to see. We got number 4 there, and I might be able to get it with a torque wrench or something. Like I said, that one's gonna be kind of hard to work with. Let's get that. Rack and pinions right in the way. That one's going to be kind of hard to work with. Where it is, it's right here. That's one of the crank. Piston rods. So can we go between the rack? I don't think. Oh yeah, that one's gonna be real fine. I might can get one side at least. At a weird angle. Probably have to get some swivels or something. Come up to the. Suck. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go to number 2. Is that 2? I can get to that one. Maybe. It's right there. It's so hard to see right there. That's right. It's right here. Right over the rack. But I think I can go up between it and let's make sure I don't get oil dropping on the camera. Like this. Sneak a peek. That's one thing about locked up motors. Oh, I got that one free. That one's right. Let's just see if we got any type of movement with that one off or loose. She is stuck. I don't know if that piston actually moves. So it's kind of hard to see that one. Because where it is, we might be able to take something and tap up on the rod. See if I can get a, I don't know if I can come up through here. Bear with me. Hard spot. I just want to know would that piston move. So that's number 4, 2. Well, that'll be, wait a minute, 4, 3. Well, it goes the opposite way. 1, 2, 3. So if number 1 is, I think number 1 is towards the firewall. I think that'll be number 2, and it does move. It moved a little bit. So it would have to be locked in that number 1. She still won't turn. Ugh. So I guess we'll try and get number 4 back there. I don't know if you can see it though. It's kind of hard to see around the back side of the transmission. But it's that's it right there. Number 4, I believe. So I'm gonna have to do some moving around. I'm gonna shut the camera off right quick, and I'll see if I can get that to move. And then if it don't move, the piston don't go up or down, and the crank still don't turn, then we know that the engine needs to come apart. Alright, so I got some swivels. I'm gonna try and get this one loose. Say it's up. Bad angle. Move it out. Break my swivel. It still don't turn over now. It's just really seized up. Swivels hung up. Stuck on the nut. Let's see if we can get to this one. I don't know what you guys are looking at. I tried to get the angle right on the camera, and it's just not very good. Alright, those 2 rod cap bolts are loose. Let's see, kind of tap up with a tap the piston up a little bit. Hopefully that won't move. That would be nice. Oh yeah. So that piston's got some movement. If I'm correct, that's number 4. Number 2 do. If that's number 1 do. Number 2. Number 3 don't. And number 4 does. So let's just see what it, let's just see will it even turn at all. It might. I made a mark right here on the belts and somewhere up here on the timing cover. There's a mark right there. I kind of made, I guess you can see it, I don't know. Let's see where she turned. Oh gosh. She is locked big time. It might even be in the main bearings. I've never had an engine that you got 3 out of 4 pistons that are somewhat free and you still don't get any crank movement. Let me go up the top. Get a cheater pipe. She's frozen. I go the opposite direction. But here we go. It's just a crank bolt. She's locked up. She's locked up super tight. So I got somebody that potentially wants to buy it. He's gonna come and look at it. I don't know what his plans is with it, but I told him the engine was locked. It's been sitting, and so if he don't buy it, we'll just go ahead and take the head off of it and see what's going on in those cylinders, which it could just be that rust is inside of the crankshaft where your main bearings is. Shouldn't be, because it's so tight up in there, only oil can travel through, but we'll have to just start taking stuff more and more apart on it. But anyway, if you don't see the Pinto anymore, that means it's sold, and we'll move on to something else. But if he doesn't buy it, I'm going to move along with start taking it apart. Maybe work on number 3 cylinder a little bit, but I seen the other 3 pistons move by tapping on them. They did move up and down. Well, I know one of them did, but if you got some movement out of some pistons, you should have some kind of crank turnage, even though that one is froze. But we'll just have to see what's going on with it. So anyway, guys, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna wrap it up on the Pinto for now, and we'll see what happens. So like, share, subscribe. Y'all be safe, and we'll holler at you later. The Pinto is gone, so we sold it. It's loaded up. So like I told you guys, if you don't see it anymore, that means it's sold. So he's gonna put a say he's gonna put a LS motor in it and drag it out. So, or put a regular 350 in it. So, but yeah, it's sold. So we'll holler at y'all later. Kiss the Pinto goodbye. It's being saved. Someone's gonna do something with it and take it and enjoy it and fix it up. So she's loaded on this little trailer and she's heading to Arkansas, folks. So we'll talk to y'all later.